Hey friends, how's it going? Ash here, welcome back to Gents. Hope that you're doing well. 2023, we're pretty much done with that. Right at the end of the year, it's gonna be going away, and 2024 is gonna be coming in, hopefully with some awesome new releases next year. At least there better be. I mean, whew. End of the year is always rough, man. Like, toward the end of the year, there is nothing new coming out. Just a wasteland, just complete crap. And then basically, as soon as the year ticks over, it's like, oh, here's 15 new fragrances, let's go! But it doesn't matter right now. Right now, what we're doing is we're posting up 2022, all of the biggest designer releases of the year, against 2023 to see which year was really, truly better. So we're gonna be looking at a lot of stuff here, a lot of designer fragrances from last year and this year to see really which one came out on top. And I asked you guys the same question. Which year do you think had the best releases? And sometime later in the video, I'll be sharing with you guys how that poll turned out. I'll have some of the biggest releases from each year linked in the description. Feel free to check them out down there. And I will not be talking about any of my fragrances that were released this year or last year. Oh, my lights are off. Professionalism. Pure professionalism. Anyway, I will not be talking about these fragrances, but if you would like to check them out, they're linked in the description below at Michael Malul's website, where you can find them at any Perfumania or fragrance outlet store in the country. So those are the ones that I creatively directed: Edgewater, West Loop, Jet Black Enigma, Terra Nova. Let's do it. These are the two biggest fragrance releases for most people from the last 2 years. 2022, we have Gentleman Eau de Parfum Reserve Privé, a fantastic release, probably the best fragrance in the entire Gentleman line, which is really saying something, because that's one of the best fragrance lines for men, I feel like, that's out there right now. You do have to be a fan of Iris, because most fragrances in that line are based around Iris. This one has a really nice warmth to it, some sweet booziness that really helps offset some of that creaminess from the Iris that maybe some people wouldn't like so much, and really just ramps it up. But then we have this here, Le Male Elixir, from this year, obviously. This is, for me, at the moment, the pinnacle of the Jean Paul Gaultier Le Male line, which is saying something, because there's like 72,000 Le Male releases at this point, but there are a lot. And this is just absolutely killer. It does smell similar to Le Male de Parfum, which is an earlier release in the line, but this one is just frankly better to me. That's nothing against that one, by the way. That one is also fantastic. This has a little less of a powdery feel than that one, more warmth, more richness, a little bit bolder, easier to wear, just a killer fragrance. Now, if this was all we had to go on as far as 22 versus 23, it would be a really, really close matchup. You know, standing here right now, I couldn't tell you which one I would choose. Depending on which day you asked me, sometimes I would take this one, sometimes I would take that one. I think they're both just absolutely fantastic, and there's a reason that most people consider these the best of their respective years. So we have to kind of dive down a little bit deeper than that, and we will. Now, I'm not gonna go over every single fragrance from each year because we don't have that much time, but we will tackle pretty much all of the major ones. And I do wanna say, before we go any further, that I completely screwed something up, and this is totally on me, but I did my top 10 designer fragrance releases of 2023 video not that long ago, where I went over what I thought were 10 of the best designer fragrance releases of the year. And I left one off that I should not have, and that is this one. The Scent Magnetic. I completely screwed this up, and it's because what I did is I went to Fragrantica's website and I searched by 2023 releases, and they have this listed as a 2022 release. This came out at the very beginning of 2023 for pretty much everybody, so I think everyone would really consider this a 2023 release, not a 2022. But they had it listed 2022, and so I didn't see it. My thought process was, I don't want to leave anything out because my collection is a little bit huge.
That's what she said.
And so it's easy, if I'm looking through everything, you know, trying to pick out stuff that was released this year, to skip over something and forget it. So I was like, well, to make sure not to do that, I'll go ahead and sort everything by 2023 releases on Fragrantica. That way I don't miss anything. But then they had the years wrong. So I missed this, I screwed it up, that's on me. This would have came probably down at like, you know, number 10 or 9 or something like that, but it still would have made the top 10 and I should have at least mentioned it. So the Scent Magnetic, I really like this stuff. That was my bad. Now we can continue. I just had to get that out there because as soon as I realized it, I was like, Ah! So let's take a look at some of the other major releases from each year and kind of put those up against each other, see how things fare. Start with 3 of what I feel like are some of the best releases from 2022. Terre d'Hermes, Eau Givre, The Most Wanted Parfum, and Le Beau Le Parfum. I guess for now I'll sit these 2023s over here. We'll kind of make like a little army over here for 2022 and then have them fight.
You don't have to do this.
People always say the same thing.
So these, I feel like, are really 4 of the strongest releases of the year, if not the 4 strongest. The one that grew on me the most from last year to this year is Le Beau Le Parfum. The more that I've worn that, the more I've really grown to appreciate it. The Most Wanted Parfum, I think, is very, very good as well. Excellent, even. The only thing that I could say about this one in a negative way is that maybe for more people, the original The Most Wanted might be a little bit easier to wear for them. Not that this is difficult or anything, but that one has a be more of an easygoing compliment factor to it. And then Eau Givre is just freaking awesome. Like, this is really, really good. Actually, this won the fragrance release of the year from the Fragrance Foundation Awards for 2022. Actually beat my fragrance, Terra Nova. Yeah, good job, guy. This one, extremely citrusy, natural smelling, classy, fresh, just great, great, great. And then Le Beau Le Parfum compliment magnet. This thing is just out of control. This was my most complimented fragrance for this year, actually. So these 3 right here are just killer. This is like the best of 2022, I feel like. These right here. Let me scooch you off for a second. So what is the biggest stuff from 2023 that would be going up against this? I would wager that most people would probably say these. Acqua di Gio Parfum, Invictus Victory Elixir, Born in Roma Intense. Now, Acqua di Gio Parfum is basically what you could think of as a re-release of Acqua di Gio Profumo. Is it different than Profumo? Yeah. A little bit. It's not the exact same, but it's really, really, really close. That being said, actually, the tides have turned a little bit, and more people are starting to say that they think Acqua di Gio Parfum is a little bit of an improvement over Profumo, which that's going to be met with pushback because Acqua di Gio Profumo has been, for the fragrance community, the #1 Acqua di Gio of all time, basically, since it came out. You know, people really, really love that one, and for good reason. But I think at worst, you could say that this is a fantastic replacement for Profumo. Because even if you think Profumo is better than this one, it's not that much different. So it's not like it's gonna be one of those things where you go, oh, Profumo, 10 out of 10, Parfum, ah, crap. You know, it'd be more like 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10 at worst. Invictus Victory Elixir, I think, is amazing. I absolutely love this fragrance. It's a great vanilla kind of forward scent with a really nice sparkle to it. You know, it grabs attention right away. And Born in Roma Intense is also killer. Massive compliment puller, amazing smelling in the air. Like, this thing is just magic, at least for me. It works amazingly. And so when you put these up against each other, once again, I honestly think it's like a 50-50. If it came right down to it, you know, like gun to my head kind of deal, I would probably at this point take Le Male Elixir over Reserve Privé, but by just the absolute slimmest of margins. I would take Eau Givre over Acqua di Gio at this point. I'm kind of a Profundo guy, but I do really like Parfum, and it's just Eau Givre is like perfect for me. I would take Born in Roma Intense over Most Wanted Parfum solely because I think that maybe having the Most Wanted be so similar to this one, I could fall back on that one. And with these two, depends on my mood. So maybe a very slight edge to 2023. So let's dig a little deeper. Now we're starting to get into some of the cuts that are maybe not, you know, the absolute top of the line, but still were big releases. And I want you guys to kind of like play along with me here in your head and kind of figure out, as we make these little armies of fragrances, which one you think is superior. And then we'll get to how the poll went and what I ultimately feel is the better of the two. Now, if you look on Fragrantica, you will see Dior Homme Sport as a 2022 release, but this actually released in 2021. So if we're really trying to stick to this, that one doesn't count for 2022. And for me, that's actually a pretty good loss, or a bad loss actually, because that's awesome. Each year got a 1 million. We've got 1 million Royal for 23, 1 million Elixir for 22. For me, this is pretty much a wash. I think it's really close. Between the two, if I had to choose one for myself to keep and get rid of the other, I think I'd go 1 million Royal. But I know a lot of people very much enjoy 1 million Elixir. So for me, it's again kind of a wash. Got a couple big releases from two houses on these years. H24 Eau de Parfum over here and myself over there. So This one, again, is a little bit of a wash. I hated H24 Eau de Toilette. I like the Eau de Parfum version more. Myself, I think, is absolutely amazing for compliments, for versatility, ease of use, but in terms of how interesting it is to me, not very. But, you know, truth be told, between these two, if you told me I can only have one, I would take myself. I don't know for some people that's gonna be sacrilege, but I haven't found myself wanting to wear H24 or wearing it, and I could see getting more use out of this. Each year got a light blue, Italian Love for 2022, and then Summer Vibes for 2023. And this is, once again, for me, sort of a wash.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
I know. Italian Love smells similar to Light Blue Forever. Maybe more wearable than Forever for some people, but still similar to that one. Summer Vibes, kind of similar to O Intense. So there's my issue. I like O Intense. I like Light Blue Forever. These smell similar to those. I like both of these. I think overall, I would probably wear Italian Love more, but then Summer Vibes, you do have 125 mils instead of 100, so you get a little more bang for your buck. I do like the presentation on this one a ton. So again, this one kind of up in the air, maybe Italian Love a little bit more. Couple strong releases for 2023 right here, the Guerlain duo. L'Homme Ideal Platine Privé, and then Abbey Rouge Rouge Privé. Yeah, 2 Privés. So, almost chucked it. This one smells really similar to L'Homme Ideal Cologne, which I love the smell of, and I do love the smell of this one. It does kind of, you know, give me Acqua di Gio Parfum vibes, where it's like they're just kind of taking something from their past and then tweaking it a bit, you know, and re-releasing it, but it still smells great. And then Rouge Privé, super classy, great scent. You know, it has that throwback feel to it. Quality is extreme with this one. It will appeal more to middle-aged guys and older, but if you like this line, it's kind of a must-own. But 2022 had some of that kind of re-release action as well with Y Eau de Toilette, where it's basically just a little bit of a tweaked version of the original Y Eau de Toilette, so you can put that over there. Don't have to say too much more about that one. It smells good, easy, versatile, clean, but you know, not anything that really moves the needle that much. And then 2023, I'm not gonna bust that one out, but had another one of those with Armani Code Eau de Toilette. So yeah, there's been, you know, a good amount of that. 2022 did have Code Parfum, so that one goes over here. And Code Parfum is an actual new release, not one that was just kind of a retweaking, reimagining, re-releasing. I think it's actually really well done. Love the little bit of iris in there, nice fresh opening, and classy dry down. Let's bust out some more of the big boys. Just get them all kind of laid out here, split it off, and see which one wins. Acqua di Gio Eau de Parfum for 2022. Scandal Le Parfum 2022. Tom Ford Noir Extreme Parfum 2022. Burberry Hero Eau de Parfum also 22. Narciso Rodriguez Blue Noir Parfum. And then last but not least, I'll just put it back here, Bad Boy Cobalt. So these 6 were some of the other bigger releases from the year, and I think all of these are actually very solid. Love Blue Noir Parfum, a great iris scent, you know, kind of in that style of Dior Homme Intense, Valentino Uomo Intense, Gentleman Eau de Parfum, but again, very well done. Burberry Hero Eau de Parfum, an improvement over the Eau de Toilette. This one, Bad Boy Cobalt, smells similar to Invictus Platinum, which also came out this year. Acqua di Gio Eau de Parfum, I actually don't like as much as Profondo, Profumo, or Parfum, but it's still Acqua di Gio. And then Scandal and Noir Parfum are both great for the evening, and Scandal is really kind of an under the radar compliment puller. So let's actually, how do I want to do this? Okay, so here we go. We got, what do we have here? 15 fragrances from 2022. They're gonna go up against these. So we have room for quite a few more actually. So let's start filling that out. We got Boss Bottled Elixir, CH Passion, Gucci Guilty Elixir, I know, just elixirs. Gentleman's Society, we have Bad Boy Extreme right here, and Y Eau de Parfum Intense, which I guess leaves out the scent Magnetic, but you can imagine that Armani Code Eau de Toilette is over here, and then the scent Magnetic is over here. Cool. So again, Iris and CH Passion, I think extremely well done. Y Eau de Parfum Intense and Gentleman's Society are both, you know, they're easy to wear, they smell good, they're classy. They didn't really blow me away necessarily, but they're both very competently done scents. I know that doesn't sound like a rousing round of applause or anything, but Boss Bottled Elixir is awesome. It's one of the best of the year, easily. Bad Boy Extreme, I should have also mentioned this in my top 10 because I love the opening. The opening of this has a great nuttiness to it. And Guilty Elixir, extremely freaking expensive. Yeah, but it smells great. Quality is there, a little bit similar to Reflection Man. So we'll put these over here. And thank you for sticking with me as I meander through this. there are your combatants. I will run through this once again real quick, and you need to decide. 1 million elixir, age 24, eau de parfum, light blue Italian love, white eau de toilette, code parfum, the most wanted parfum, eau givre, le beau le parfum, hero, eau de parfum, gentleman reserve privé, bad boy cobalt, scandal, le parfum, aqua de joe, eau de parfum, blue noir, parfum, and noir extreme parfum. That's 2022, and also Armani Code Eau de Toilette that's not pictured. Hey, me from the future. After I shot this video, I realized I forgot a really important fragrance. Coral Fantasy. Can't leave that one out. That's from 2022. So when I go over the fragrances at the end here, you know, 2022 versus 2023, just ignore me saying to add Armani Code Eau de Toilette in with 2022. Put this one there instead. So yeah, I realized, like I said, after I shot it, and I had meant to put this with all those other fragrances, but you'll never believe what I did. I went and got it from my fragrance room, and I put it in my pocket because I was carrying other things, and I forgot it in my pocket. So yeah, Coral Fantasy. Now this year, let's go. Starting here, Bad Boy Extreme, Abbey Rouge, Rouge Privé, The Scent Magnetic, White Eau de Parfum, Intense, Gucci Guilty, Elixir, 1 Million Royal, Myself, Light Blue Summer Vibes, L'Homme Ideal, Platine Privé, Gentleman Society, Boss Bottled, Elixir, got Born in Romo, Born in Tony Romo, what? Born in Roma, Intense, Aqua de Joe Parfum, Invictus Victory Elixir, Lamal Elixir, CH Passion, Tony Romo. So, that's a big matchup. It's a big matchup. Here's the one thing that you don't see here though. 2023 had, in my opinion, more good releases overall than 2022. If we're just talking about the quantity, the number. I got most all the big ones here, but there are a lot of other ones left out. I'll give you a few of those here really quickly that I jotted down. Invictus Platinum, which I mentioned before, over in 2022. Gucci Guilty Parfum, Ralph's Club Parfum, Stronger With You Oud, The Scent, Le Parfum, YSL L'Homme Eau de Parfum, Boss Bottled Parfum, Polo Blue Parfum, Ferragamo Bright Leather, Lacoste, L1212 Blanc Eau Fraiche. And finally, 2023, some of the ones I left out. Grey Vetiver Parfum, Luna Rosa Ocean Eau de Parfum, Spice Bomb Infrared Eau de Parfum, Bulgari Rain Essence, Boss Bottled Pacific, which is actually really good, Sand Desert at Sunset by Zara, which really popular, but you know, maybe not as big as these, but still. Pac Rabanne's Phantom Parfum, Explorer Platinum, don't remember if I said that one or not, Coach Green, and Polo Red Parfum, Azaro Wanted, Eau de Parfum, Ralph's Club Elixir, L1212 Blanc Eau Intense, Chrome Parfum, 1 Million Golden Oud, Born in Roma, Rockstud Noir, Stronger With You, Amber, and there's actually a bunch more that are decently sized releases. So overall, when you look at the quantity, I think 2023 wins pretty easily. So then it comes down to which one overall is just stronger. And I went back and forth on this a little bit, but I feel like when you look at the entirety of the year, that for me, 2023 is actually a little bit better. I feel like with the elixirs, most of them were fantastic this year. Invictus Victory Elixir, Lamal Elixir, Boss Bottled Elixir, also good. Born in Roma, Intense, fantastic for me. Aqua de Joe Parfum, again, kind of a re-release, but still smells great. And just overall, an extremely strong year. Now, at the top end, I think 2022 is just as good as 2023. But for me, it does get a bit weaker once you come out of that top end. So once you come past like the Eau Givre, the Le Beau Le Parfum, Gentleman Reserve Privé, and you start to go, you know, towards some of these other ones that are still very good, very well done, it loses just a little bit of steam. So I don't think 2022 is bad at all, but I just think 2023 is a little bit better. If I recall correctly, when I put 2022 up against 2021, 2022 beat 2021, if I recall correctly. I could be misremembering that, but we've been on a good trend. I feel like things have been improving, so hopefully 2024 is even better. Now to you, how did you vote? Well, when I put the question out there, initially the first 200, 300 votes rolled in, and 2022 was crushing in a landslide. It was something like 78% for 2022. And then as time went on, it started to even out, and ultimately the year that won by a pretty handy margin was 2023. 68% of you said that 2023 had better fragrances overall than 2022. And actually, looking through the comments and everything, it looked like the overall consensus was that 2023 had more fragrances that were overall higher quality, and that quantity of releases from this year kind of overpowered this year, which is pretty much the same thing that I see as well. On the top end, This year, just as good as this year. But as you start to work on down, you see maybe 10 more designer releases over here that start to be, you know, higher quality than the mid-tier stuff over here. And when you have so many more releases over here that are good quality, it just kind of puts this one down. So that was a really long video pitting these 2 years against each other, trying to see how everything played out. But for me, and for the majority of you out there, 2023 just edges out 2022. So I'd say we had a pretty good year. Let's all hope, like I said, that next year is even better. Thank you all for hanging with me here. Thank you for the kind of year-end wrap-up, you know, staying with me till the end. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you next year. See you.